Well, we hear about our local SADD chapters, Students Against Destructive Decisions, but we're going to talk on the national level to the president and CEO. We've got Rick Birt with us today, and thanks for joining us, Rick.
Always great to be with you, Holly. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we have some really strong, good SADD chapters locally, but let's talk about the national level. And is it important to for you to encourage a lot more schools to have SADD chapters in them to focus on mental health and safety and things with the students?
Absolutely. We've been around for over 4 decades working to empower teens, engage parents and adult allies, mobilize communities, and change lives around the leading risks and pressures that young people face. It doesn't take us too long to flip through the local newspaper or scroll through our social media feed to see that young people are facing really unique challenges, especially in the wake of COVID-19, with the increase we see in violence in our schools and communities, the ongoing challenges we have around the opioid crisis and fentanyl. All of those things are connected. And so at SADD, we're trying to provide real resources that are tangible, that are actionable, that our schools and communities can use to keep one another and the whole community safe.
And I assume you've heard or felt that peers working with, their fellow peers, that's better for mental health and, safety and those kind of things.
Absolutely. Whenever we can empower a young person to talk about these issues, not only are we instilling in them the knowledge and resources they need to be safe, but they're the best teacher for their friends. They are there in that moment when a risky decision is about to happen. They're there when crisis occurs. They have an ability to be able to speak up and use their voice to change behavior, to remind young people of the importance of making healthy decisions, and be able to refer for services to get a young person the help they might need in their counseling office, to talk with a parent who might be able to shed some light on the resources, all that and much more. So absolutely, teens talking to teens is the most effective way to change behavior.
I know locally some of the things they've been doing have focused on mental health, like You Matter,
Yeah.
and with the holiday blues coming up and stuff. Is it really important that teens, zero in on that?
Absolutely. Allen East High School and several of the other local SADD chapters in the area have been hitting on the fact that right now the CDC shows us that 1 in 4 young people across the state of Ohio are struggling with a diagnosable mental health condition. The holidays, COVID-19, violence abroad and in our schools, all those factors are coming together to create a sense of anxiety for our teens. So it's never been more important that we talk with teens about those issues, that again, we give them the resources they need, like our resources on our website, our mental health toolkit, which is designed for parents on how to assess mental health crises, how to access resources, how to get involved when you think your teen might be facing a crisis, and how to have that preemptive conversation, not just once, but to make it an ongoing conversation. So there's never been a more critical time for us to remove the stigma on mental health and really get everyone involved.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that we've seen in our area locally too is that kids are really worried about texting, being responsible drivers, and drinking and driving and things like that. That's another focus, safety like that.
Absolutely. We know that car crashes are still a leading cause of death and injury for young people across the state. We still see that, as you said, texting, impairments, all those kinds of things that divide our mind or prevent us from being the safest drivers possible are critical issues. You've seen us release our new Text Less, Live More campaign, which focuses not just on being a safe driver behind the wheel, but also unplugging and making sure that we're looking at the issues of digital dependency. We're setting healthy parameters around these devices that are constantly vying for our attention, that we're talking about underage drinking and cannabis usage, all of those things that could impair a young person, especially this month. December is Impaired Driving Prevention Month, so we're proud to stand with the Ohio Traffic Safety Office and the Ohio State Highway Patrol, our friends of the National Road Safety Foundation and other partners to really get that message out, to remind parents to have these conversations, to spend some time with our Passport to Safe Driving, a free resource from SADD and the National Road Safety Foundation, and to use that tool to look at the leading causes of crashes and to build those skills that young people need to be safe as they get behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm. We're zooming with you, and you're in Washington, D.C., but you're an Ohio boy through and through, right?
That's right. Go Bucks. I'm a native of Springfield, went to Wittenberg, went to Ohio State for my master's. So always great to be in Buckeye land, even if it's just virtually. But absolutely, Ohio will always have a special place near and dear to my heart.
Right, exactly. Well, thank you very much for joining us today and showing us how SADD is really caring about these students, and we can have some SADD chapters locally. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time.
Don't go away. Noon Edition continues in a moment.